The nation is in mourning. Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth has succumbed to cancer and his demise has brought a cloud of sorrow over the pain that the scourge brings with it. But the victory that his life embodied through his battle with the illness has inevitably tapped an outpouring of condolence messages. President Uhuru Kenyatta, Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga lead a host of leaders in mourning the late MP who is hailed for his development record in his constituency, where he was serving a second term. Hello and welcome to NTV Weekend Edition this Friday, July 26th. We are coming to you live from the Nation Center here in the capital city, Nairobi. Also coming up in the next 60 minutes. Tonight, a dark Friday in Kenya.
A servant leader, Honorable Ken Okoth, is no more.
Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth succumbs to cancer. Also tonight,
udugu ni kufaada, sawa sawa, yasita sibaba baovu ya kitawala.
Ken Okoth, the man, the hero.
He was very committed. He was very passionate about his work. May the Lord rest his soul in eternal peace.
That time tutangu alikuwa mgonjwa serious, singeweza hata mamangu wangu nipatie hiyo pesa ama brother wangu. Ken Okoth ndiye alinisaidia na pesa nikapeleka mtoto wangu Kenyatta.
Admired and celebrated by the high and mighty and the man on the street. Plus, Wilson Sosion may be on his way out of the Teachers Union. Court rules in favor of the Teachers Service Commission. And Morans shoot to the finals. Kenya's basketball team beats Morocco in the African Championships and are now one win away from the 2020 Olympics.
This is NTV Weekend Edition with Edmond Nyabola.
Welcome to the broadcast. Our sign language interpreter tonight is David Agondoa, and we begin on a sad note. He was considered the ideal development-focused Member of Parliament, a man of resilience whose strength shone through his battle with cancer. This afternoon at about 4 o'clock, Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth passed away. The legislator succumbed to cancer at the Nairobi hospital where he had been on life support. Family and friends have begun making funeral arrangements and urged Kenyans not to visit the Lee Funeral Home where the body without the family being present there. Leila Mohammed begins our broadcast.
A man who had earned the admiration and respect of many,
God bless you.
Kenneth Odhiambo Okoth bravely battled cancer and served as an encouragement to many as he openly took it on. But on Thursday, 25th of July 2019,
Mheshimiwa was brought to the hospital yesterday morning. He was unwell and then was admitted at around 5 p.m. But at around 8, his health deteriorated and he was taken to the ICU.
But his journey on the life support machine came to an end.
A while back, Mheshimiwa passed on. So we want to inform the nation, the people of Kibra, the leader they chose, a servant leader, Honorable Ken Okoth, is no more.
An hour after Okoth breathed his last at the Nairobi Hospital's intensive care unit, close family and friends braved the emotions and walked to address on the nation on his demise, a death which cut their hearts deeply.
He was not in a position to utter anything, not at the moment.
The legislator who lost the fight against a disease so bravely born was last seen in public at Moi Girls School in Nairobi in Kibra constituency.
And all the time,
his famous smile still on his face, sailing above the storm that sat underneath. His family speaks of his battle with the waves of ill health.
He came back a fortnight ago. Unfortunately, he's been on and off.
The news of his admission in hospital was circulating on social media, so the family came out to tell the story and steer clear of uncertainties. He took his cancer fight to France. At the beginning of the month, he returned home. A son who was born in the sprawling slum of Kibra more than 41 years ago has rested, but he has rested in the hearts and minds of the people of Kibra constituency whom he touched in every way and form. Leila Mohammed, NTV, Nairobi.
And staying with that story, the country's top leadership had nothing but praise for the late Ken Okoth. In his message of condolence, President Uhuru Kenyatta, through a tweet from State House's official handle, said, "It is with a heavy heart that I have this afternoon received the sad news of the death of Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth. Death has robbed us of an astute legislator. May God comfort his family, friends, and indeed all Kenyans during this difficult period of mourning." Deputy President William Ruto said Okoth's demise deeply saddened him. He tweeted, "Okoth was an enthusiastic, energetic, distinguished and public-spirited leader who served his constituents with dedication and selflessness. He worked tirelessly to better the lives of others and championed welfare for all." Justin Muturi wrote, "It is with great sadness that I have learned of the passing of Kibra Member of Parliament Honorable Ken Okoth after gallantly fighting the illness that afflicted him. Ken was a visionary, indefatigable and exceptional legislator whose commitment to House and constituency duties was unmatched." Those are some of the reactions following the death of Ken Okoth, the Member of Parliament for Kibra. And still staying on reactions, we are live from Kibra constituency where Vincent Odwor is to just get to understand what the residents there and the constituents of the late leader have to say about his death. Vincent, what are the people of Kibra saying this evening?
Absolutely, you know, the late Ken Okoth was serving his second term as a legislator representing the people of Kibra constituency in the National Assembly. And this is after he successfully defended his seat during the August 8th general election, where he won more than 90% of the votes that were cast then. And he has been the area member of parliament since 2013. And this is not an easy thing because, you know, political pundits will tell you that being able to win a parliamentary seat in Kibra constituency twice is not an easy walk in the park because it all majorly depends on how far your efforts will take you as a politician and also the implication of the position taken by opposition leader Raila Odinga, because you know this is his political stronghold in Nairobi County because he used to be the area member of parliament those days when he was the MP of Langata and Kibera was within Langata constituency. And therefore, right now, I am at Kamkunji, and I'm here because this is where the late Ken Okoth grew up. And he used to play here at Kamkunji grounds when he was a young boy. And therefore, most people will tell you this is where he grew up at, and this is where he used to play when he was a young boy. And he was basically born a few meters from where I am here behind me at a place called Kisumu Ndogo, which is a few meters behind me, and that's where Ken Okoth was born. And therefore, this is a place that is very significant, and it has a political symbolism here in Kibra constituency, the Kamkunji grounds, because they'll tell you you can't be an area member of parliament if you won't get political blessings from these or at these Kamkunji grounds. Let me talk to ndugu waitwa nani?
Mimi naitwa Vincent Uma Ambulu.
Hebu niambie msiba huu umekufanya unahisi vipi na unaonaje?
Kwanza sisi tumeshikwa na butua kama wakaji wa Kibra kusikia kwamba mbunge wetu amekufa. Kwa hivyo tuko na huzuni kwa hiyo, na mbunge wetu alikuwa alikuwa anapenda sana vijana wetu kama watoto mostly vijana wadogo kusoma, alikuwa ameshikilia upande wa elimu sana kama education. So ilipata kama Kibra kuna wazazi wengine pia wakuweza kujiwezesha na kufundisha kama mambo na school fees, na through CDF basari ilikuwa inatusaidia kama sisi wazazi wa Kibra. So
asante sana. Wacha niongee na wewe mwingine pia. Wewe utakosa nini baada ya msiba huu kukumba nyinyi kama wenyeji wa Kibra?
Tutakosa vitu muhimu sana kama upande wa elimu. Manake Ken Okoth ni mtu alikuwa amesaidia watu sana hapa Kibra, kwa sababu vile alianza na kuelimisha wasichana wakati kabla hajachaguliwa kama mbunge. Alianza na kusponsor wasichana wakisoma baadaye ndio akaja akachaguliwa kama mbunge, na pia amekuwa akitia fora sana kwa upande wa elimu na amefanya vizuri sana, ambapo tuko na wasiwasi kubwa sana kwa kuwa saizi tutakuwa tumemkosa mtu kama huyo, ambapo bado tunajiuliza kwamba je, tutapata mtu kama huyo? Lakini tungeomba pia mwili wa Ken Okoth iweze kuletwa hapa Kibra na wananchi waweze kuishuhudia na macho yao wenyewe.
Let me talk to somebody else here also, a lady. Mami, ebu niambie Ken Okoth alikuwa ni mtu wa aina gani? Wewe uko mkazi hapa.
Jina yangu naitwa Margaret. Mimi ni mkaaji wa Kibira. Ken Okoth ametusaidia sana, hasa katika sisi wa asasi ametusaidia. Okoth alikuwa mbunge mwenye haifanani na wabunge wengine. Ya kwanza, Okoth hachagui, ni kama alikuwa mbunge ya wasiojiweza. Okoth akikuja anatembelea matope, anakanyaga na sisi, anatusomesha watoto sisi, tupatia basari, tunajikakamua, tunaweza kupata hata kama ni 3,000 umemaliza tamuana. Saa hii kwa hivi sasa Okoth amekufa, hatujajua tutaanzia aje na tutamalizia wapi. Ya pili, Okoth ameleta mabadiliko huku kwetu Kibira, hatukukua hata na barabara, na saa hii ingali hata ukisimama hapa ukiangalia huku utaona kama Kibira inawaka kama tauni zingine.
Asante sana. Hebu nizungumze na wa mwisho basi hapa. Wa mwisho, njoo wewe kama huyu ni let me speak to bodaboda rider here. Hebu ni nini utakosa sana baada ya mbunge wenu kuaga dunia?
Okay, nikianza na majina zangu, mimi naitwa Samson Otieno. Mimi ni mkaji wa Sarang'ombe. Mwanzo nikisema ya kwamba nasema pole sana kwa Wakenya.
Hebu ni nini utakosa baada ya mbunge wako kuaga dunia?
Okay, Ken Okoth alinipea basari, nikaweza kupata driving school yangu, niko naendelea na shule yangu pale Green. So ni huzuni sana kwa sababu tangu tuanze shule tulisikia kwamba alikuwa mgonjwa, mshoe leo tumepata mrambiambe kwamba amekufa. Ningesema ya kwamba sisi kama Wakenya tukue na umoja na tukue na undugu. Sana sana watu wa Sarang'ombe ward, tuweze kuomba Mungu sana atupatie kiongozi ambaye ataweza kutuinua, kutushikanisha pamoja, kwa sababu Ken Okoth hakuwa anapenda siasa ya kugombana na watu ama kupiganisha. Ken Okoth alikuwa neutral sana katika, siwezi pimanisha na viongozi wengine kwa sababu angeweza hata matusi, angeweza kupeana matusi ambayo itakera wengine. Kwa hivyo ningesema ni pole sana, na sisi kama wana pikipiki, Ken Okoth alituita akatuongelesha, akatuambia ni vizuri sana mfanye kazi mkiwa mkono.
Asante sana. Okay, those are just and we'll continue camping here at in Kibra constituency, especially here at Kamkunji grounds where Ken Okoth grew up as a young boy. For now, I'm taking you back to studio. I'm Vincent Odwor.
Thank you so much, Vincent Odwor, live from Kibra constituency, where the Member of Parliament has died, and the residents there, the constituency, are remembering Ken Okoth as a leader who was visionary, who was development-oriented. He touched many lives there, as you heard, among the constituents from his backyard in Kibra constituency as well. Staying with those reactions, ODM leader Raila Odinga has eulogized Ken Okoth as a great leader who served his people diligently. Odinga was speaking exclusively to NTV, where he also spoke about his last conversation with the legislator.
I sponsored Ken's education as a young man, and Ken is like my son, and he has shown a lot of dedication. First, he's a very intelligent person, and he worked very hard from a very poor background. So in the passing on of Ken Okoth, we have lost a true Kenyan patriot, a man who was very dedicated to serving the poor people of Kibra, who actually related with everybody at different levels in our society. So we will really miss him. His services are going to be missed, not only by the people of Kibra, but the larger Kenyan community. Now, yesterday, as you know, in the morning I went to several functions, then I had to fly out to Mombasa. So I was hoping to see him when I came back today. And it's a big blow for me to realize that he had passed on. But I spent just about 1 hour the day before yesterday in the evening looking for him. but I was told he was not there. Okay, so I wanted to realize later that he was actually in the hospital. We will work with the people of Kibra to help realize Ken's dream, because his dreams are actually based on my own dreams for the people of Kibra. And I'm sure that we'll always find a way, because there's a will definitely, to help the people of the constituency and the larger Nairobi constituency. He was a strong person. He knew what was happening to him, and he took it, in his stride. He did not shy away, because he believed, like Julius Caesar, that death is a necessary evil that will come when it will come.
ODM leader Raila Odinga eulogizing the late Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth, reminiscing, of course, and looking back into some of the conversations they had. Remember, Ken Okoth actually took over from Raila as a Member of Parliament for Kibra. It was Langata, the larger Langata constituency, before 2013 when Ken Okoth was elected as the Member of Parliament for Kibra then. Now, members of parliament will remember Ken Okoth as an effective, result-oriented leader who strived for change, more so in the health and education sectors. These are the sentiments among some of his colleagues in the Orange Democratic Party and in parliament.
Let me join all Kenyans in sending my message of condolence to the family of Honorable Ken Okoth. Ken Okoth was a very good friend of mine. I have worked with him now in 2 terms in parliament, and we worked with him in different caucuses in parliament, in Parliamentarians for Global Action and others. He was very committed. He was very passionate about his work. May the Lord rest his soul in eternal peace.
Mheshimiwa Ken Okoth alikuwa mheshimiwa ambaye ni kiongozi mzuri ndani ya bunge na nje ya bunge. He was a great leader kwa sababu ndani ya bunge alikuwa anasimamia sana mambo ya health na education. Yeye ndio alikuwa ile mjumbe ambaye aliconvene lobby group ama caucus ya kusimamia mambo ya SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Hiyo ilikuwa kazi ya Mheshimiwa Ken Okoth. Tumepoteza kiongozi shupavu, tumepoteza kiongozi ya maana, na kwa niaba ya wabunge wenzangu ningesema poleni sana na Mungu afariji familia yake.
Ken Okoth was a very dedicated member of parliament. He was a very efficient and effective member of parliament. He was very dedicated to his work. But unfortunately, there is nothing that we could do about it. He really struggled. He fought a good fight, but he has amefika mwisho. So poleni sana wale ambao ni familia yake and us who are working with him.
His colleagues in parliament, they are just eulogizing him and remembering him during his times in parliament, of course, officially, and of course as friends as well with them. The outpouring of grief following the death of Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth can be explained by his outstanding personality, not just as a politician, but as a human. Mark Masai reports on Ken Okoth, the man.
I think we should try to see what is the way forward. What are some good solutions? Right now there's a crisis. How can we solve it to make sure our children have a quality education system?
An eloquent man who was in his 2nd term as Kibra Member of Parliament, and one main highlight through his leadership was the fight for quality education. Something he was passionate about in his constituency, where he started initiatives to support education for the less fortunate. Born in Kibra's Kisumudogo area in 1978 in a family of 5, life was definitely not served on a silver platter. He spoke of having slept on a proper bed when he joined the Starehe Boys Center, where he got accepted after scoring a very impressive 613 out of a possible 700 marks in primary school final exams. It was not an assured ticket to success for Ken Okoth, however, as he struggled to get to tertiary institutions. He had to forego his desire to pursue law at the University of Nairobi for lack of fees, and in the meantime had to take on jobs like being a newspaper deliverer for the East African and even doubling up as a night guard at the Maendeleo ya Wanawake House premises in Nairobi.
in the long term, it's the children who will suffer.
His pursuit for better education for Kibra through the Constituency Development Fund was inspired by his struggle to gain an education.
Excellence based on your development.
Like many of these children, he couldn't expect his already burdened mother, Angelina, to get him scholarships. After managing to do German and European studies for his undergrad, he managed to get into the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University, Washington, D.C. for his master's degree and thereafter got into lecturing for several years. In his last public appearance soon after coming back from France, where he sought treatment, he visited a school in his constituency still passionate about education. His wife, Monica, now widowed, stood by his side throughout and is left with the memories of a strong man who lived to represent the very constituent he was born in. Mark Masai, NTV.
Now, the late Ken Okoth was a warrior who battled colorectal cancer for years. Here's what you need to know about this type of cancer. Colorectal cancer is among the top 10 cancers in Kenya. It starts in the bowel area, that is in the colon or rectum, otherwise known as the large intestine. Cells in the lining of the colon or rectum can change or grow and become cancerous. The symptoms can be subtle, but more obvious symptoms are blood in the stool, persistent and more frequent passing of stool and loose stool as well, and abdominal pain. These symptoms can also, however, be common and do not necessarily mean one has bowel cancer. Those more at risk of colorectal cancer are people over 50 years of age, but there are younger sufferers too, as of course Ken Okoth was 41 years old. A diet high in red or processed meat and low in fiber, overweight people, those who smoke and drink in excess and fail to exercise are also at higher risk. Family history of the cancer or other underlying conditions can also cause the disease. Surgery or chemotherapy and radiotherapy are the ways in which the cancer can be treated but not necessarily cured, and especially if it gets to the latter stages such as the one that Ken Okoth was suffering from, stage 4. And there are ways in which one can try to prevent cancer. That's by undergoing bowel screening, maintaining a healthy, balanced diet and weight, and by living a healthy lifestyle devoid of excess smoking and alcohol consumption. May his soul rest in eternal peace. But away from that, Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haji has ordered the arrest of Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu, his wife Susan Wangari, and 8 individuals over the Kiambu County government's 588 million shillings graft allegations in tendering for road construction. Evidence gathered by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission shows that the company that was awarded the tender, Testimony Enterprises, it is called, was closely linked with Waititu. 221 million shillings was paid to this company, from which 25.6 million was paid to entities associated with the governor. Mel Miendo has that report.
The dance is almost over. Just a week after Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu attended his daughter's wedding, tables have turned, and now both he and his wife will spend the weekend behind bars. The graft involves 588 million shillings from the county's coffers for upgrading roads in 5 sub-counties in Kiambu. Director of Public Prosecutions Nuruddin Haji has ordered the arrests of the governor and his wife, Susan Wangari Ndongo, Kiambu County Chief Officer for Roads, Lucas Wahinya, 5 evaluation committee members, and 2 directors of Testimony Enterprises, the company that was allegedly fraudulently awarded the tender. 3 companies, including Testimony Enterprises, Saika 2 Estate Developers, and Bienvenue Hotel, are also implicated. The inquiry file that the EACC submitted to the DPP notes that Testimony Enterprises received 221 million shillings, having won the tender, yet it was closely associated with the governor. Of these funds, 25.6 million shillings was remitted to entities directly associated with Waititu, including Saika 2 Estate Developers, which he owns, and Bienvenue Hotel, co-owned by his wife. Waitito's daughter, Monica Njeri, who is a co-director in Waitito's Saika 2 estate developers, is not on the arrest and prosecution list as she is registered as a sleeping director and inactive in the affairs of the company. Charges include conflict of interest, dealing with suspect property, abuse of office and money laundering. The suspects will be arraigned on Monday, 29th July 2019. Mel Miendo, NTV.
Some more reactions from leaders and Kenyans alike following the death of Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth. I'd like to read just a few. David Maraga, the Chief Justice, says, I join the people of Kibra and other Kenyans in mourning the demise of a Member of Parliament, Honorable Ken Okoth. In his death, we have lost a vibrant, dedicated legislator who connected well with his people. May God comfort his family, friends, and his colleagues as well. Senator Mutula Kilonzo of Makueni County says Ken Okoth was in a class of his own in so many ways. He was not a conformist or an apologist. He was brave to share his health status and came back home for one last public function looking so frail. He suffered bravely. Go well, brother. Kenya will miss you. Wait. Just one final one here about the late leader, Wallace Kantai, says, yes, none of us will make it out of this gig alive, but sometimes they take them far too soon. Honorable Ken Okoth was one of the good ones, leaving a legacy far beyond his time on earth and period in leadership. Hamba Hale, I believe, Mheshimiwa, something of that kind. May we accomplish a fraction of what you managed. Kenyans and, of course, leaders reacting following the death of Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth, who passed away at 41 today at Nairobi Hospital. Let's take our first short break on NTV Weekend Edition. We still have more for you, so don't go too far.
When my doctor told me to take better care of myself, the wife said we should start salsa dancing. I was useless. She also started cooking with fresh fry cooking oil. It's cholesterol-free and it's triple refined. Perfect for meat dishes, fish, vegetables, curries, stews, shallow fry, deep fry. Now I feel great. All thanks to my darling wife and fresh fry cooking oil. Life is full of flavor.
Diamond Property Merchants welcomes you to Konza Greens, the only controlled residential development at Konza Techno City Buffer Zone, a gated community less than 2 kilometers from Konza SDR substation and adjacent to the standard gauge railway. Get an 8-acre plot for only 490,000 or an installment plan starting as low as 15,000 per month. Take advantage of this opportunity, for the land is still affordable. Text the word Konza to 22002 or call us on 0722 850 000. Site visits this and every Saturday. Diamond Property Merchants, your home of strategic land investment.
Making my family some nutritious porridge is a painstaking process. First, I have to find all the ingredients needed, and there are many. For vitamins, proteins, and minerals, I need cassava, sorghum, millet. You no longer need to go through all that to make nutritious porridge. All you need is NutriPro.
You don't have to go through the trouble of finding, measuring, and weighing all these vital ingredients. New NutriPro porridge flour comes fortified with 13 vitamins, proteins, and minerals. This means that you have more time to focus on what's important, giving your family the healthy start they deserve. NutriPro, bringing families together. From Tropical Brand.
Why are so many children absent? Children have become weaker. Children have not become weaker. Infection-causing germs have become stronger, making infections more severe. New Lifebuoy with Active Natural protects from today's stronger germs.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Nation FM. More music and less talk.
Nairobi 96.3, Mombasa 101.5, Meru 93.9, Nyeri 104.9, Eldoret 102.7, and Nakuru on 97.7. Follow us on social media on Facebook at Nation FM, Instagram at Nation FM, and on Twitter at Nation FM KE. Nation FM. More music and less talk.
Every day, history repeats itself. A scientist takes one small step. A genius finds a solution. A record is broken. A legend is born. Every day, history repeats itself here at Wood Creek School. Because we believe every child is a promise of something great. And it's our job to find the greatness within. So we welcome you to our open day on the 3rd and 4th of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our campus on Committee Road.
I would give anything to be able to give him that child, but I can't. 6 weeks, been to surgery 3 times.
That takes a toll on you.
Immediately I went back home to recover. I went into straight depression. I'm tired of the pity parties. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being bitter with everyone. I would wake up and not want to see the light. I'd just leave my curtains closed and stay in there, and I wouldn't eat.
So you didn't go to work?
Anything healthy? Yeah. And I remember asking God one time, please don't allow me not to wake up.
Soil Merchants Property Developers have incredible offers for prime residential and commercial plots in Kiserian Town. Welcome to our open day on 27th July 2019. SMS LAND to 21595.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. Let's have a look at some news stories making headlines today. The Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sossion has received a major blow as the Employment and Labor Relations Court has allowed the Teachers Service Commission to deregister him on account of his entry into politics. In his ruling, Judge Nelson Abuoda said Sosion's nomination to Parliament was inconsistent with his position as a teacher under control and supervision.
The Kenya National Union of Teachers Secretary General Wilson Sossion may lose his position as the union's boss after the Employment and Labor Relations Court upheld his deregistration. In a statement, Justice Nelson Abuoda said the acceptance of the nomination to National Assembly by ODM obviously put Sossion on a partisan political activity. It was a manifestation of an agreement to support ODM agenda both in and outside Parliament. He added that TSC has ably demonstrated that Sosion's nomination went against its tenets as an institution in charge of regulations and discipline of those in teaching service. The judge noted that this was inconsistent with his contractual obligation to TSC as a teacher. The relationship he had with TSC was contractual and could be terminated by either party for lawful reasons. TSC had deregistered Sossion in January 2018 and had written to Sossion and Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers Chairman Omboko Milemba informing them that they were no longer teachers. However, Sossion moved to court where he got orders temporarily blocking the government from sacking him as well as other union officials. Sossion had sought to justify his acceptance of the nomination to Parliament by ODM, saying he was nominated as a special category to represent workers.
Former Kerio Valley Development Authority Managing Director David Kimosop will spend the weekend in police custody at Muthaiga Police Station. He spent the better part of Friday at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters. This is on account of the Aror and Kimura dams scandal involving 19 billion shillings in the mega project fraud. Kimosop was alongside National Environment Managing Director Managing Authority David Ungare, who is among the accused. The two went through processing at the DCI headquarters, which involved taking their fingerprints and posting police bail. The former KVDA MD had been out of the country and was taken into police custody by the authorities at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport upon his arrival Friday morning. Directors of CMC Di Ravenna were also expected at the DCI headquarters today but failed to turn up. International arrest warrants are expected to be issued. Regional Development Cabinet Secretary Adan Mohamed has appointed Ewasongiro South Development Authority Managing Director Sami Naporus as the acting Managing Director of KVDA. Chief Justice David Maraga has called for the speedy processing of graft cases in the courts. Let's take another short break on NTV Weekend Edition. When we come back, Julian Zamboko has all the business of the day. Stay with us.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up. But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Join Telkom today and share life on our expanded 4G network. Telkom, moving with you.
You in the pollution? Yes, you. Dry throat? Strepsils. Gal in the smoke with a raspy voice? Strepsils. Hello, in the downpour with a scratchy throat? Take Strepsils. Get soothing relief for any throat irritation. Strepsils with its medicinal ingredients will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Crazy without your friends. Drink Fanta. Tastes fun.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down. And the proof's in the results. It works.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, showerhead, basin and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
It is time to get down to business. Welcome, I am Julian Amboko. Now, the government will only focus on financing priority expenditure in the period between now and the end of September 2019 as it undertakes budget realignment. In a circular from the head of public service to the CEOs and chairpersons of state corporations dated 23rd July, the cabinet has directed that all state corporations and other semi-autonomous agencies be allowed to spend only a quarter of the approved spending, equivalent to the recurrent spending for the previous financial year. Similarly, capital expenditure incurred will be limited to projects already ongoing, putting on hold any new projects. This comes just a day after President Uhuru Kenyatta urged county governments to accept the 316 billion shillings allocation proposed in the Division of Revenue Bill, saying the government has no money to accommodate the demanded increase. And away from that, ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Mucheru has rubbished claims that the government is pushing to have a Kenyan take over as the Chief Executive Officer of Safaricom. Mucheru says that the government will not influence the appointment of the CEO to replace Bob Collymore, asserting that the responsibility of who will be the next Chief Executive lies solely with Safaricom's board. This even as Mucheru strongly opposed Parliament's push to have the telco giant split its telecommunications services from the money transfer service. Lillian Carrier with more on that story.
3 weeks after the death of Bob Collymore, the debate on who will fill his shoes is still rife. ICT CS Joe Mucheru has said that the government will not have a hand in who is appointed as Safaricom's CEO.
Government is a shareholder in Safaricom, just as Vodafone and other people through the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We have appointed a board, which is got a chairman, and it's really the responsibility of the board to determine how they want to drive the company.
Safaricom's dominance in the telecom sector that has made it the most profitable company in the country has led to a proposal tabled in Parliament which seeks to compel mobile phone companies to form separate arms to manage any other business they engage in outside telecommunications services. But CS Mucheru says the Kenya Information and Communications Amendment Bill 2019 is ill-advised.
Safaricom can decide for themselves if they want to split M-Pesa and the telecommunications company. It should be their choice. It should not be one that is regulated. If you now separate the companies and say everybody now creates their own equivalent mobile money company, then what happens to who's going to be investing in the infrastructure?
Lillian Kiarie, NTV.
And away from telecommunications, Kenya and Tanzanian officials are set to meet next week in Dar es Salaam to iron out the details and logistics of the sale of maize to Kenya. The Cereal Board of Tanzania says Kenya will buy 1 million tons of maize and flour spread over a year, beginning with an initial 20,000 tons to be purchased next month. Kenya has been struggling with maize deficits that have seen the price of maize meal flour double to nearly 130 shillings per 2 kilo pack as millers blame the rising prices on the shortage of maize. In the last few weeks, the Ministry of Agriculture has come under fire over plans to import 12 million bags of maize to bridge the deficit, forcing it to shelve the plans. And on to the capital markets. Paul Muthaura will not seek a second term at the helm of the Capital Markets Authority when his contract expires on January 1st next year. Muthaura has been serving at the helm of the CMA since January 2012, where he initially served in acting capacity before confirmation in January 2016. Muthaura will be exiting at a time when the CMA has tightened oversight following investigations into and retribution against persons implicated in insider trading of Kenal Kobil shares ahead of the takeover by Ruby Energy. He will also be exiting just 7 months after the exchange rolled out the derivatives market following a green light from the CMA in May this year.
We'll continue to work very closely with the exchange, with the central bank, and critically, the industry players who are really at the forefront on building this market and continue to make sure that the contracts we'll be introducing are responsive to market need.
And staying with the stocks, shareholders of East African Breweries Limited have a reason to smile after the company gained 2.2 billion shillings in market value during Friday's trade. The gain comes on the back of the favorable full-year results for the year ended June 2019, which saw EABL rebound to growing its net profit after the contraction posted in the preceding year. The company posted a net profit of 11.5 billion shillings, up 59% compared to the full year ended June 2018, as the company reaped from a rise in sales and the decline in costs. Shareholders will also book in a full-year dividend of 8 shillings and 50 cents per share, up 13% from the previous year.
You know, still 50% of beverage alcohol consumption in this market is illicit, and so there's a huge amount of opportunity for growth by fully commercialising that consumer brewery.
And staying with alcoholic beverages, competition in the liquor market, I should say, went a notch higher after Naivasha-based Keroche Breweries launched KB Lager. The lager will retail at 120 shillings, is the third from the company, which produces Summit Lager and Summit Malt. During the launch earlier today, this company's CEO Tabitha Karanja said the lager will not only provide consumers with unique quality product, but also support Kenyan cereal farmers in meeting international standards.
Finally, we have now come up with a unique beer that is using 70% locally grown cereals and 30% malted barley. This beer is KB Lager. And I think all of us, you can see it in front of our seats. Because of KB Lager, we can now promise all Kenyan cereal farmers that this beer will be a great benefit to them, because every KB Lager brewed in Keroche Breweries will have 70% of their produce in it.
Now, just a few hours after ICT CS Joe Musheru unveiled the 4 new board members for the Communications Authority, the Employment and Labor Relations Judge Byram Onganya issued an order barring the new members from performing any functions until an application filed in court is determined. This follows a suit filed by activist Okia Omtata, who challenged the appointment of Paul Muredi, Mahmoud Noor, Laura Chite and Jackson Kiprotich Kemboi, arguing that Musheru flouted the law in their appointment. The names of the 4 who are set to serve in the board a 3-year term limit were gazetted on the 19th of July. And the Federation of Kenyan Employers has appealed to all partners to come together and seek solutions that will empower enterprises so as to generate job opportunities and alleviate poverty by addressing challenges affecting the bulging numbers of unemployed youth. The employers were meeting in Mombasa to celebrate FKE's 60th anniversary under the theme, Shaping the Future of Work and Enterprises in Africa.
We want to come up with resolutions and things that employers can practically do to improve the conditions in which business is done in the continent, so that we can have our own indigenous enterprises growing and performing well to be able to create jobs and to be able to change the livelihoods of our people.
If you look at our mantra now is focusing on transforming through trust. And that's where, if you look at Nation Media Group, we are also celebrating 60 years and we are talking of being true and timeless. So we want to be the trusted source of information about Africa as we continue moving forward.
And Keses constituency in Uasin Gishu County is set to streamline its development agenda and align all projects to the strategic plan launched on Friday. The 5-year strategic plan is expected to provide guidelines for how the constituency will handle development, as well as how to map out how a number of unemployed youth there in the constituency and how they can get employment. Area Member of Parliament has also launched a program in which young people will be admitted to polytechnics for free to pursue various TVET courses. And being Friday, it is time for Food Friday. The ongoing rainy season in the coast region has come along with south winds, commonly known as Kusi, which have adversely affected fishing activities in the region. Most fishermen have now resolved to finding alternative means of livelihoods because they can no longer cruise into the rough oceans in search of catch because of the high tides and waves. This week's Food Friday addresses the fishing industry and the struggles of the fishermen who now have to work harder to meet the daily demand for fish. NTV's Kevin Mutai with the details.
The strong southerly winds of more than 20 meters per second, accompanied by large waves along the coastal strip, are causing trouble for the fishing industry.
Tunajua kwamba miezi mitatu minne samaki kwa Kusi yanakuwa hakuna. Ni haba sana, patikati inakuwa ni ndogo sana.
This kind of situation is experienced between the months of April to September and has forced some fishermen in the region to down their tools, afraid of the deadly ocean waves brought by the season of Kusi. The regular pattern of the monsoon winds in the Indian Ocean have, however, allowed for traders to plan for their trade routes.
Roho ziko kwenye hifadhi ya Mungu mwenyewe. Ukiwa baharini hata ukiwa juu. Kwa hivyo ni kuomba Mungu tu, kwa vile tunaenda kutafuta riziki za halali. Mungu mwenyewe ana njia ya kutusaidia tuende salama, turudi salama.
Hivi siku mbili hizi bahari imebadilika, wimbi imekuja juu kama mara 3 ambapo bahari ilivyokuwa.
The hardships experienced by fishermen in the ocean translates directly to the market, At the Mombasa Old Town Fish Market, for instance, the vendors are receiving many orders for fish, but the supply is not enough. This has in turn pushed up the price of fish. Crustaceans, such as prawns and shrimps, now sell at least 2,100 shillings per kilogram, while lobsters are fetching 1,500 shillings per kilogram. Tuna goes for 600 shillings per kilogram, up from the usual 300 shillings.
Biashara ni nzuri, lakini samaki hakuna. Tunajua kitu kikiwa upungufu kinakuwa na biashara kina bei zaidi. Lakini sasa samaki hakuna, bei iko. Samaki hawatoshi kabisa. Hata unaona unapokuja samaki hawatoshi hapa. Huwezi kusupply nje. Unatosheleza katika oda zako za hapa mjini. Huwezi kupeleka zaidi hapa Mombasa. Kwa sababu ni haba sana.
On a good day, the fishermen can catch 400 kilograms of fish, but the Kusi season, the fishermen get even 20 kilos.
Kipindi hicho yenyewe tunatarajia wale tuna ambao wanakuwa wako kwa wingi, ndio kidogo hata tukipata kidogo wanatuinua, lakini hakuna.
This frequent low supply of fish during the Kusi season has seen the number of fish imports rising steadily in the recent years as the Chinese take advantage of their cheaper supplies to gain the foothold in the Kenyan market.
Sababu sisi wenyewe wavuvi hapa hatuwezi kutosheleza kuvua samaki wa kulisha nchi yote kutokana na vifaa vyetu tulivyokuwa navyo. Hatuna uvuvi sisi Kenya wa kuweza kulisha nchi yetu tu.
The Kenya Meteorological Department issued an advisory to fishermen along the coast region to be on the lookout for potential large waves that might be disastrous. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
And that's where we wrap up the business bulletin tonight. And for this week, enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Now is your time to dance and rejoice.
It's time for the Great Gospel Crusade with Evangelist Daniel Kolenda and the ministry of Reinhard Bonke Nakuru.
That Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father.
Come and receive your miracle from God at the 4-day power-packed crusade from Thursday 8th August to Sunday 11th August 2019. The venue is Afraha Stadium Open Grounds from 3 p.m. daily.
Come and be blessed.
Jesus is Lord.
Hey, mister. Where you going?
Men clean their cars themselves. I'll also clean my own bike. I'm grown up now.
Then you'll need this. The most pleasant surprise for a mother is to see her child growing up. But I know as he learns to take more responsibility, he'll face more dirt, germs, and the risk of illness.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol cleans and protects against 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Kujimoto hapo na kujipodopodo.
Dakika moja tu na wewe.
Mimi nakwambia hii date mimi nitakutangulia. Mimi niende nikule, wewe utaenda kule baadaye. Utapata nimelipa. Is the thought that counts.
I'm done.
Hiyo makeup naweza iongeza hivi kachumbari, kafirifiri, naweza ifanyia kakitu juu. Kidogo tu tumayo like. Twende nikushuo, naweza ongeza kaladha. Haka sasa ndio kachumbari.
Wow. Ulijulia wapi kufanya makeup?
Mambo ni YouTube.
Get 5 GB free YouTube when you buy the all-in-one monthly bundle. Dial *544# to choose your bundle. Mambo on YouTube.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Every day, history repeats itself. A scientist takes one small step. A genius finds a solution. A record is broken. A legend is born.
Every day, history repeats itself here at Wood Creek School because we believe every child is a promise of something great. And it's our job to find the greatness within. So we welcome you to our open day on the 3rd and 4th of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our campus on Committee Road.
Ukiambiwa 1 plus 2, 10 marks. Huwezi andika 3.
Hebu fanya ujinga, uvae jeans, t-shirt na kofia. Uingie kwa gari, makanga akuitishe fare, umwambie nitakupea tukishuka. Unasikianga? Dondoa moja dere.
Avena contains omega-6 and 9 and is fortified with vitamins A and D. New Avena Premium Vegetable Cooking Oil. Now available in all leading stores.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. Unfortunately, tonight we won't have a bullseye because Emmanuel Juma was actually working on something until the news of the death of the Kibra Member of Parliament, Ken Okoth, broke, and he had to stop that and focus on this, and also to allow us more time to cover that death. And so, in place of bullseye, we have more news stories for you. A suspect who was caught on tape assaulting a police officer in Karen has been arraigned today at Kibra Law Courts. David Kariuki Kimura has been charged with 3 offences and released on bail pending the hearing of the case next month. Helen Aura has that report for us.
No, some people have had.
David Kariuki Kimura's demeanor depicts a man whose troubles have seemingly deepened after an emotive response to an unfortunate incident. Kimura appeared to be assaulting a police officer inside his car on Thursday morning. The suspect has been charged with 3 offences, among them assaulting a police officer, stealing a police officer's phone and resisting arrest. Further charges may be preferred against him relating to traffic offences.
Kabla hujaajiri mtu akuwe driver yako, lazima uchukue stakabadhi zote zile ako nazo. Ujue kitambulisho yeye ni nani. Na kama uwezi, hata unaweza mtuma kwa polisi, utasaidiwa. Achukuliwe fingerprints, achukue good conduct, ajulikane yeye ni nani.
Kimura pleaded not guilty to the offences and was released on a cash bail of 150,000 shillings plus a surety of the same amount or a bond of 200,000 shillings. He is set to go for a mental checkup to determine whether he is fit to stand trial. The Thursday morning incident, which occurred in Nairobi's Karen area opposite Nairobi Montessori School, came as a shock, more so for the intensity of the confrontation between the driver and the traffic police officer. The case will be mentioned on the 2nd of August 2019, while the hearing has been set for the 28th of August 2019. Helen Aura, NTV.
Now listen to this. Your water supply situation may get worse anytime from now, as the Water Resources Authority has warned that it will disconnect non-compliant water service providers, which owe the authority 5.7 billion shillings in unpaid bills. The most affected urban areas include Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru and Murang'a counties, which means that residents in these respective counties may have more dry taps. They, however, also spoke on the adoption of smart metering systems, which once introduced, they say, will help with service delivery and water allocation. The authority's CEO, Mohamed Shurie, announced a 90-day grace period for compliance with the new guidelines, failure to which disconnections, permit cancellations and impositions of fines will be meted on the defaulters.
Know the main defaulters. And I want to warn people of Nairobi that very soon they will be having no water. Because from here, we are going to disconnect Nairobi Water, we are going to disconnect Coast Water, we are going to disconnect Murang'a Water. We are going to disconnect all those major cities and water suppliers who owe us money.
People who are applying to abstract water must install smart meters. Yes, according to the water the 2007 regulation, it says master meter. Meters were there before, but now we are moving from that master meter to a smart meter.
Well, let's hope that the service providers actually pay those bills, because if they don't, it will be catastrophic for most of the residents of these counties that have been mentioned in the case there. So let's take another short break on NTV Weekend Edition. When we come back, Brian Otwal has the day's sports, including that very, very big victory for the Kenya national basketball team, the Morans. Stay with us.
The world-famous Molfix and saw the difference. Let's see how absorbent Molfix is. Molfix, thanks to its ultra-absorbent particles, can keep more liquid than the other diaper brand, so you can use it comfortably all day long. All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Well?
Thank you so much.
Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Bella. There's a class and a half in everyone.
The Federation of Kenya Employers and Business Africa invites you to the Africa Employers Conference and FKE 60th Anniversary Celebrations. The conference will be held at the Sarova White Sands Beach Resort and Spa, Mombasa, Kenya, on Friday 26th to Saturday 27th July 2019. Theme is Shaping the Future of Work and Enterprises in Africa. To confirm attendance, email jkudwali@fkekenya.org. The Federation of Kenya Employers, the voice of employers.
I would give anything to be able to give him that child, but I can't. 6 weeks, been to surgery 3 times.
That takes a toll on you.
Immediately I went back home to recover, I went into straight depression. I'm tired of the pity parties, I'm tired of being angry, I'm tired of being bitter with everyone. I would wake up and not want to see the light. I'd just leave my curtains closed and stay in there and I wouldn't eat.
So you didn't go to work?
Anything healthy? Yeah, and I remember asking God one time, please don't allow me not to wake up.
Soil Merchants Property Developers have incredible offers for prime residential and commercial plots in Kiserian Town. Welcome to our open day on 27th July 2019. SMS LAND to 21595.
Let's have a look at the day's sports news. Welcome, my name is Brian Otwal. The men's national basketball team, the Kenya Morans, have made history by sailing into the final of the inaugural International Basketball Federation FIBA Afrochan tournament in Mali. Kenya easily beat Morocco to set up a rematch with Democratic Republic of Congo, who beat Angola. Warothi Kiru reports.
The men's national basketball team, the Kenya Morans, swept past Morocco 96-66 with Eric Motoro bagging 32 points. Kenya won the first quarter 27-11, then took the second quarter 23-15 and consolidated the lead with a 27.
We have our reporters in different locations.
NTV is right here to bring you everything from the beginning to the end.
Hii ni NTV Sasa.
Kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo yanafanyika.
Sasa ni kumtuliza. Hii inaitwa sensory integration.
Shughuli pevu ya kudunda viwanjani
narejea kwake Doreen.
Na kurudisha hapa studioni, kuna mengi ambayo yanaendelea kujiri katika maeneo tofauti.
Tunavyoelewa nasema nini? Vimeundwa.
NTV in the morning. All you need to know to start your day.
After the win, the Sports Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Amina Mohamed, tweeted her congratulations to the gallant Morans. But in the response to her tweet was a snippet of the underlying feelings of the Kenya basketball fraternity. The Morans' phenomenal success has been in spite of the challenges faced by basketballers in the country. Kenya has a strong basketball tradition, with high school basketball a rite of passage. However, the National Basketball League has for years suffered with lack of training and playing courts to recurrent electricity cuts during games to the roofs at the Nyayo Indoor Gymnasium leaking being the order of the day. There is, however, light at the end of the tunnel, as the Kenya Basketball Federation recently secured a game-changing 100 million 5-year sponsorship deal that is expected to boost the sport in the country. In addition, there is a crop of Kenyan pros whose experience abroad is proving to be the catalyst to success for the national team. Taylor Okari, who plays in Denmark, was named the most valuable player during the Zone 5 tournament win that granted Kenya a ticket to Mali as well as to the Africa Games. There is also Bush Wamukota, who has been a journeyman in Europe.
Kenyan basketball team, we have players from different places. We have players from Europe, America, and the local players. And we started planning like 2 years ago, like we wanted to start something. And when we came together this summer, we worked out for like 3 weeks. And when we went to Uganda, we were ready. We knew we were ready. We went there, played against tough teams, and thank God we emerged as winners.
The Morans will play DRC on Saturday night in what is arguably the biggest game of their lives. Warote Kiru, NTV.
Moving on, it will be another edition of the Swahili Derby when Harambee Stars face off with Taifa Stars on Sunday in a first-round, first-leg CHAN 2020 qualifier. Kenya, who have never qualified for CHAN, will be hoping to start their campaign on a positive note, while Tanzania will be looking to avenge the painful AFCON 2019 loss to the Harambee Stars.
National football team head coach Sebastian Menye will be relying more on team spirit rather than experience during Kenya's first leg CHAN qualifier against Tanzania. Sofapaka midfielder Dennis Odhiambo will captain the national team, with defender Joash Onyango making a first competitive appearance since an injury cut short his AFCON 2019 hopes. Many Kenyan players who took part in the continental showpiece are missing in comparison to Tanzania, who still have majority of their AFCON players.
For them, they have maybe 7 or 8 players in the first 11 who play against us. In AFCON, it's a huge difference.
The goalkeeping department will see Kariobangi's John Oyemba and James Saruni of Ulinzi Stars battle for the number 1 jersey in the absence of Patrick Matasi, Farouk Shikalo and Brian Bwire.
I don't forget also Bwire is not there today, but I think he's also the future of Kenya. He's maybe one of the best young goalkeepers. And after, we don't have a lot of talented goalkeepers in the country. It's a reality.
Menye faces a similar situation in the striking department, with uncertainty clouding the options on offer.
I know Piston, but Kip and Enosh, we don't know at this kind of level. For KPL, it's really interesting. For this level, it's another step.
Tanzania, who replaced Nigerian Emmanuel Amunike with Burundian Ndaira Gije Etienne as the head coach, will be relying on a contingent of Simba players to get the job done. Ida Warenga, NTV.
And it is down to the semi-finals of the annual off-season Kivutha football tournament. This, as Bandari's Bernard Mwalala has been belatedly named the best coach of May. Details in our football roundup.
The 41st edition of the Kivutha tournament is ongoing at Ziwani grounds. Umeme Bees, who saw off Nyoi 1-0, will take on Shauri Moyo's Kingston FC on Saturday at the Ziwani grounds. This, as Massa, who beat Dallas 1-0 in Friday's quarter-final, will be up against Alin Dwakali, who beat Napoli 2-0 in the second semi-final that will be played on Sunday. And the new KPL season is about to start, but coaches are still getting fitted for the last season. Bernard Mwalala, who will guide Bandari to this year's CAF Confederation Cup, beat Tusker FC's Robert Matano and the then Sony Sugar coach Patrick Odhiambo to be crowned the Fidelity Insurance coach of May and June. Kenyan Premier League champions Gor Mahia have moved to fill the gap left by Jacques Tuisenge by roping in two foreigners, Ghanaian forward Francis Afriye and Ivorian striker Ghislaine Yikpeg-Namian. Tuisenge left Gor Mahia for Angola Giants Petro Atletico a week ago. Meanwhile, captain and defender Harun Shakava is in Zambia working on a transfer to Nkana FC, while Sofapaka Zumaru Kasumba has completed a move to Zesco United in Zambia. Western Region Football Boys under-16 champions Koyonzo Boys Secondary School have their work cut out as they move to shine at the secondary school's National Term 2 games in Kisumu from Tuesday next week. Koyonzo are targeting a last 4 berth as their minimum target. However, they will have to deal with a host of 15 other teams for their owners. Meanwhile, Ibrahim Ochieng Owino, one of the shining stars of the second season of the Chapa Dimba na Safaricom, has signed a 3-year contract with Kenyan Premier League side Western Stima.
And Impala Saracens and Menengai Oilers will kick off the 31st edition of the Kabeberi Sevens on Saturday with first match at the Kinoru Stadium starting at 8:40 a.m. The game will then pave way for another Pool A clash between Kakamega Sevens winners KCB and home team Meru RFC. Defending champions Homeboys will kick-start their title defense against invited Stanbic Pirates from Uganda. And Ferrari maintained their early German GP advantage over Mercedes in practice 2 as Charles Leclerc set the pace ahead of teammate Sebastian Vettel with championship leader Lewis Hamilton third. Leclerc sealed Ferrari's second 1-2 of the day.
It's almost a year, nothing has been done.
I just need some form of information.
Dr. Mugo Wairimu first hit the headlines when a video clip showing him raping an unconscious female patient in his clinic.
With the puzzle surrounding the sugar saga yet to be cleared.
How many times were you sexually abused?
Like 3 times.
How was a convicted child molester allowed to set up a children's home in the country?
NTV News. Bold, balanced, authoritative.
Where are we headed as a country? Every time we make a step forward, we do 2 backwards.
Any fool with huge amounts of money can be president of this country. It is no longer about service.
Why can't we move these people out and find somebody who can make the right decision for the country?
You're the experts, you can tell me.
We have to change the way we arrive at our leaders. We have to.
Thank you so much, Brando Twal, with the sports. That's NTV Weekend Edition this Friday. Very sad Friday indeed, following the death of Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth, who passed away today at the Nairobi Hospital, succumbing to cancer as well. And on that note, before the trend begins, we'd like to leave you with a tribute from Nation Media Group for the late Kibra Member of Parliament Ken Okoth. Good night.
Good night.
Uliniwacha mi bila fahamu kuwa ni yako zamu, angalau ungeniambia eti unakam nitulize hamu wangu wa dhati. Hey, tama zangu zimenikwamia mikononi.
This is NTV.